Hello creative people, this is Catherine from A Motley Art, and in this video I am showing you the process of making two coordinating 6x6 scrapbook layouts. I will be using the Pumpkin Spice collection by Close to My Heart. You can check out the description for more information about this collection, but I really hope you watch this whole video for some inspiration because you really could use any collection that you have to make these layouts. So the first thing that I'm going to do is create an element that I'm going to end up layering my focal element on top of. So I took a 3x6 paprika cardstock, and then I cut out some shortbread cardstock in a 1/2 inch by 6, and I layered those together. And now I'm taking the zip strip from one of the 12x12 sheets, and I cut that in half, and I'm layering it on the edge of those other two papers. I love the leaves on that zip strip, and I thought bringing in a little bit more of that darker green would be really nice contrast to the other colors that I have going on. Now I'm using some of the Cricut gold sticker foil that I have, that I've made a cut file so that I can have different strips that I'm just taking off here, and I'm just going to add one on each side just to add a little extra shimmer to this particular element. And I really like how these came out. I think they look really nice, and they're just going to help to make my other elements really pop out. So I'm going to end up adding these onto the two sheets. One is going to, so the left sheet it's going to be closer to the left side, and on the right sheet it's going to be closer to the right side. So on this particular layout, this first one, I am using a 3x4 Project Life card as my main focal element. So this particular layout is going to be, it's not going to be for a picture, it is its own layout. I like making these. I think they're really interesting and can bring some variety to your scrapbook that just makes it more enjoyable when you're flipping through. Plus, you get to use some of those elements that you might not be able to kind of figure out how to use with a picture. Like this Home Sweet Home, it just felt like it would detract from the picture. So it would be like they were fighting each other. So this way it gets its own place to live and be pretty, and then the picture can go on the other page. And that's really how I've designed these two coordinating pages to go together. So I popped that up. As you could see, I spared no expense when it came to the foam dots. I really want to make sure that doesn't sag in the future, so I put a lot of foam dots on there. And now I'm adding a couple of clusters, and one of the pages, one of the pattern papers in this collection has a lot of these different elements on it, so I cut them out so that I could use them as individual elements. And then that nectarine piece is just, I believe it came out to be something like a 1x3 piece that I just kind of cut the edges off of just to make it have a little bit more of like a label look to it. And then I'm going to I cannot say the word layer. I'm going to layer up my little elements here, and I just love this with the book and like the tea or hot cocoa, have whatever you want that to be in there. I just think it's so cozy, and it just really is one of the things that I love about fall, is that you get to have those types of warm drinks, and you get to have your sweaters and your blankets and all the cozy things, right? All the things that are just nice and cozy. You know, it's allowed. Nobody's going to look at you weird if you do these things, because it's the fall. It's the chills in the air, and it's just that time of year to do that. So as you can tell, I really love fall. It's my favorite season personally. I love fall. So here I'm layering up these sweaters, and I do have them coming off of the Home Sweet Home. So I'm putting some foam just on certain areas so that they'll not sag as well, that they'll be on level with that. But other areas, they were touching each other. They were touching the home sweet home, so they didn't need the foam on that. Then I'm putting in a little scarf, and then I've got a couple little boots I'm going to add there. And I just think these two clusters came out so cute and just really just perfect for invoking the idea of coming home on a nice, going outside on a beautiful fall day, and then coming home and being able to, get yourself a hot drink, get your book, and just snuggle up on the couch. It just says it all to me here. This layout is just all of the comforts of home. So this next layout is going to be where I'm going to put a photo mat. So I wanted to use the same layering that I did on the other one, which was the harbor and then some of the papaya paper cardstock. And at first I couldn't decide if I wanted to pop up the papaya or not, and then I decided no, I didn't want to do that. So I thought we're just going to leave that for right now. And I cut out a bunch of different leaves and branches and such that were on that same paper with those other icons. It had a bunch of, it had so many things you could cut out of there. So I cut them all. I just sat down for a little bit and I just cut out like a whole sheet of all these different elements that I could layer up. And so now I'm going to create kind of the falling leaves here on the right side of my photo mat. And for one of those little branches, I did kind of pop it up a little bit so that it's going to it kind of comes up, and I think it just gives you a little bit of variety in my different items, my different leaves that are going to be here on this side. It just gives some visual interest to this effect, but I really love how these leaves are going to look. I just have them cascading down this side, and it's just really pretty. Again, that's one of the things I love about fall is the leaves changing into all the beautiful colors. I don't necessarily like to have to rake up all the leaves. That part's not so much fun, but it's so beautiful this time of year. It's so beautiful. So we're just trying to recreate that here on the side of the layout. So I got all of those down, and now I did decide that I wanted to go ahead and pop up the photo mat itself instead of like popping up the image later. And again, I spare no expense in my foam because I want this to stay up and nice and sturdy for a long time. So I get that put on, and then there were some really little acorns that I also cut out and decided to sprinkle down the side with the leaves. I just thought it was kind of cute. They were so cute, and I just thought I have to add these as well. And this is part of the reason why I liked using that zip strip, which is close to my heart's branding strip. That's what they call it. They always make sure that on all of their 12 by 12 papers, one side has this full element and then the other side gives you the information about the collection. And I love that. It just gives you one more element to play with. And I wanted to put it there partially for these little acorns because I thought it would help pop them up away from the polka dots there because they kind of blend into the polka dots. But I just like how those came out. And so now I've got my 2 pages pretty much put together, most of the main elements. So I'm going to just start adding some bling to them. So I'm using a sequin mix. I'm going to use these leaves that are in the sequin mix, and then I'm going to use one of the colors of the sequin mix. It's this really beautiful like burnt orange that I just love because it goes with the rest of these colors just so well, and it just really makes things pop. So I wanted my leaves on first though, just to add, just wanted to sprinkle them in here and there. I didn't want them to be pulling too much focus, so I'm only going to use 3 on each sheet, and then I'm going to bring out those other sequins and I'm going to sprinkle those around. And I am using the micro dots for this, glue dots, which you can get through Close to My Heart as well. I just love using the glue dots for sequins because they go down so much easier that way, I find, versus you can use liquid glue, but I don't know, it just feels so messy, where the glue dots just makes it really, really simple. And now I had some stickers that I wanted to try to use. So they're just these little heart stickers, so I just kind of sprinkled those in as well, and I thought they went really well because they had the white around them, and the way that I cut out my other elements, I left a little bit of the background gray, so everything kind of looks like a sticker. So I liked that. I actually do like that look. And now I'm putting some gold glitter gems in as well. Just wanted to try to sprinkle in a few different elements to give it some nice bling, to give it some movement, and I think it's so cute the way that it came out. So I hope you got inspired by watching me today. If you liked what you see, please hit the like button, subscribe for future videos, and I hope that you can have a very creative day.